All right, so get ready because today we're diving into something you don't see every day.
Oh,
Yeah, a course catalog.
interesting.
But this isn't just any catalog. This one's from the Bonkers Network Academy.
Ah, okay, those guys.
You know them. They have a, well, let's just say a unique way of looking at education.
Right, right. Unconventional.
Yeah, exactly. Their big thing is making education affordable
Mm-hmm.
for everyone.
Great.
Totally. And accessible too.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a twist. Think like business skills mixed with paranormal investigation.
Oh, really?
All for like what? The price of a fancy coffee? Seriously.
Wow, that's wild.
I know, right?
So what's their deal? What are they all about?
Well, the thing that really stands out to me is their mission statement.
Okay, so it's more than just offering courses.
Yeah, it's deeper than that. It's about empowering people from all walks of life to explore like all parts of the human experience.
That's like that.
Right. And they even come right out and say they want to embrace the stuff that challenges norms.
That's pretty bold. For an educational group.
It really is. And they're actually doing it too, not just talking about it.
Oh, good.
Almost all their courses are, get this, $5.
$5.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That changes everything for people who can't afford, traditional education.
Totally. Opens up a lot of doors.
It does. And the types of courses,
Yeah.
it's mind-blowing. You've got your business and tech stuff.
Okay, the usual suspects.
Right. The creative arts, storytelling, and then, of course, their specialty.
The paranormal and supernatural.
You got it. That's where the bald and bonkers really comes into play.
Definitely.
They don't shy away from those topics like some others might. Like, oh, we can't touch that.
Right. Too spooky.
But by putting it all together with the regular stuff, it kind of makes it more normal to be curious about the unknown,
That's a good point.
encouraging people to think differently.
Yeah. Outside the box.
So let's dig into these courses. What do you say?
Let's do it. We can start with the more, I guess, normal side, like business tech. Even there, they have some really interesting stuff.
Oh, yeah.
One that stood out to me is called the Udemy Success Blueprint.
Udemy, huh?
Yeah, it's all about creating passive income streams on Udemy.
Oh, wow.
So, like, you do the work once, and then, boom, money keeps coming in.
That's the dream.
It is. And it ties back to their whole empowerment thing,
Mm-hmm.
taking control of your finances.
I see. Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Then they have Office 365 Mastery. It's like a video series. Shows you how to use Office 365 to get more organized and efficient.
Office 365, the essentials.
Right. But they don't just cover the basics. It's in-depth. They go into all the advanced features and all those little time-saving tricks.
I could use a few of those.
Me too. Oh, and then there's one, Mastering Microsoft AI Copilot.
AI. Okay, getting fancy.
I know. It's this whole 20-part series that's all about using AI to, like, supercharge your work.
Oh, interesting.
Like, imagine using AI to automate tasks or analyze data, even generate content, like writing. They even show you how to use it to write emails, like having a super smart assistant.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
Yeah, so that's just scratching the surface of the business tech stuff.
So what else is there on the creative side?
Okay, so if we switch gears to creative personal development, you'll find courses like Chaos to Calm.
Chaos to Calm. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, right. Anyone who's ever felt overwhelmed by their creative process can relate to that.
Absolutely.
It's all about finding focus, managing your energy, and turning chaos into, productivity.
Very useful. And $5.
Seriously, who wouldn't want a little more calm? This next one piqued my curiosity. It's called the 11 Labs Workshop.
11 Labs? What's that?
So for those who don't know, 11 Labs is this cutting-edge platform that uses AI to make these super realistic synthetic voices.
Whoa.
Yeah, and the workshop teaches you how to use that technology to create lifelike audio for projects.
Like what kind of projects?
Oh, I don't know, podcasts, maybe? Audiobooks. Oh, interesting.
I was even thinking like video game characters.
No, yeah. Like so many possibilities.
Wow.
And then there's this course called Faceless Video Creation.
What's that all about?
Okay, so it teaches you how to make professional videos without ever having to be on camera.
Really?
They use AI tools and some clever editing tricks to bring your ideas to life visually.
Cool. No more stage fright.
Exactly. So we've talked about boosting your business skills and getting your creative juices flowing.
Yeah.
But are you ready to dive into the truly unique stuff?
Oh, here we go.
This is where Bald and Bonkers really lives up to its name, the paranormal unexplained category.
My favorite.
Right. We're talking courses like categorizing cryptozoology, cryptids.
Cryptids like Bigfoot and
Ah,
the Loch Ness Monster.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those mysterious creatures that science hasn't officially recognized.
So what do they teach you?
Well, it's not just about Bigfoot and Nessie.
Oh,
It goes into all sorts of things like classification systems, research methods, and they even use the Franzen Files compendium as a reference.
the Franzen Files. What's that?
It's this massive database of cryptid sightings and reports put together by the founder of the Academy, Dakota Franzen.
Okay.
He's like a big name in the paranormal world.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Then there's the Hauntings Evaluation System course, which I gotta admit sounds kind of spooky.
Spooky in a good way.
I think so. It's all about exploring different types of hauntings, from subtle stuff to full-on terrifying stuff.
Yeah.
And they teach you a structured approach to investigating paranormal activity.
That's interesting.
I know, right? It's not just running around with EMF readers and screaming.
Oh, good. Okay, are you ready for this next one?
Hit me.
E2 UFO Encounter Rating System.
Converse.
Yeah. It delves into all those UFO sightings and alien encounters.
Awesome.
It's wild. They look at different types of encounters, the evidence or lack of evidence, and even the psychological effects of those experiences.
It's really cool. Right. So that's just a little taste of what the Bald and Bonkers Network Academy has to offer. Definitely not your average online learning platform, that's for sure.
No kidding.
Yeah.
This is wild.
I know. What do you think so far?
Honestly, I'm pretty impressed. It's like they're taking all those things that people are curious about, but maybe a little afraid to talk about, and making them accessible,
Yeah.
It's refreshing.
I agree. There's something really exciting about that. It's okay to be interested in these things. You don't have to hide it.
Exactly. And they're doing it in a way that's educational and entertaining. Like, who wouldn't want to learn about cryptids or UFOs for $5?
Right. It's like they've made learning fun again, which is how it should be.
Totally. I'm curious, though, what kind of practical value do these courses have? Like, can you actually use this knowledge in the real world?
That's a great question, and something I've been thinking about too. It's not always obvious, right? How does knowing about different types of hauntings help you in everyday life?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
But I think there are some hidden gems in these courses, some really valuable skills that you can apply to all sorts of things.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, so take categorizing cryptozoology. On the surface, it's about cryptids. But to do that well, you have to learn how to think critically, evaluate evidence, use research methodologies. Those are skills you can use anywhere.
You're right. It's like becoming a detective, but for cryptids.
Exactly. You're not just memorizing facts, you're learning how to analyze information, separate fact from fiction, and build a case. That's valuable whether you're researching a business idea or evaluating a news story or, investigating a Bigfoot sighting.
Makes sense.
And even that Hauntings Evaluation System course. It might sound like a ghost hunting show, but it could actually be really useful for anyone interested in psychology or even just human perception.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, it gets you thinking about the power of suggestion, the influence of beliefs, and how our brains can interpret things in all sorts of weird ways.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Plus, they really emphasize skepticism, which is always a good skill to have no matter what you're doing.
Definitely.
What about the E2FO Encounter Rating System course? We were just talking about it.
Yeah, that one's fascinating.
I think there's a lot to learn there, too. Learning about different types of encounters, analyzing evidence, considering the psychological impact.
Right.
Those are all skills that could be useful in other areas of research, even journalism.
It's like a crash course in critical thinking, but with an alien twist.
Exactly. And that's so important these days, right? With all the information overload.
Totally. You have to be able to sift through all the noise and figure out what's real and what's not.
Absolutely. Now, beyond those more analytical skills, the Academy also offers courses that could lead to some pretty unique careers. For example, they have an Introduction to Bounty Hunting course.
Bounty hunting. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not something you see every day.
Definitely not your typical college course.
I know, right? It makes you wonder what other unconventional options are out there.
For sure. Though I imagine there's a lot more to it than what you see in the movies.
Oh, absolutely. But I love that they're even showcasing these less traditional paths.
It's about opening up possibilities, right?
Yeah, showing people that you don't have to follow the same old path if it doesn't feel right.
Exactly. You can forge your own way, even if it leads somewhere unexpected.
And it's not just about the unusual stuff. They have plenty of courses aimed at helping people launch more traditional businesses or side hustles.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Like the Launch Your Online Empire course.
That one caught my eye too. 30 days to a fully functioning online business. That's ambitious.
It is. But it speaks to their whole mission of empowering people to take control of their lives and their finances.
Exactly. And for people who are already running businesses, they have courses like mastering social media marketing to help them grow.
That's a crucial skill these days.
Totally. Understanding how to use social media to build your brand and connect with people.
And ultimately, make more money.
Right. They even have a podcasting 101 course taught by Dakota Franson and Sarah L. Larson.
That's awesome.
I know. They're using their own platform to teach others how to create podcasts, which is exactly what they've done with the Bald and Bonkers network.
Talk about walking the walk.
Right. And it's not just about traditional businesses either.
Right.
Imagine someone who's passionate about, say, paranormal research. They could take a course like that E2O encounter rating system we were talking about,
Yeah.
develop their expertise, and then boom, create a whole online community, a podcast, a YouTube channel, anything.
The possibilities are endless.
Exactly. And that's what's so exciting about the Bald and Bonkers Network Academy. They're not just teaching skills, they're sparking imagination and encouraging people to think differently,
I love that.
to embrace what makes them unique, and create their own path.
And they're doing it in a way that's accessible to everyone, no matter who you are or what your background is.
Totally. That's something worth celebrating.
It really is. It's about developing that growth mindset, being willing to learn and adapt, staying curious.
Yeah. And always exploring new ideas. Those are qualities that are valuable no matter what you do in life.
Absolutely. So, where were we? Oh, right, the affordability.
Yeah, that's something that really struck me as we were going through the catalog. Almost every course is just $5.
$5. That's incredible.
I know, it removes such a huge barrier for so many people.
It really does. It makes education accessible to a way wider audience than traditional schools.
It's like they're democratizing knowledge, saying, hey, everyone deserves access to this, not just the wealthy.
That's powerful.
And they're not sacrificing quality for affordability either.
Yeah, they have some really impressive instructors.
They do, like Entrepedia, who's all about business and marketing. And of course, Dakota Franson himself leads a lot of those paranormal-themed courses.
The specialist of the strange.
That's him. And they have instructors from SARA, that paranormal research group.
Oh.
They contribute to courses like categorizing cryptozoology and hauntings evaluation system. They've really put a lot of thought into who they bring on board.
It shows.
It really does. And it adds to the legitimacy of the courses.
Definitely. It's not just random stuff thrown together.
Oh, and I'm really interested in their partnership with Allison.
Allison.
Yeah, it's another online learning platform. Through this partnership, students get access to even more courses on tons of topics.
Oh, wow. So it's like a gateway to a whole world of learning.
That's exactly it. It's like they're saying, here's a universe of knowledge, go explore.
I love that. It shows they're not trying to be the only source of information. They're pointing you in the right direction and encouraging you to keep learning.
Exactly. And they're not afraid to embrace new technologies either.
Oh, yeah. They have those courses on AI tools, voice synthesis, faceless video creation.
They're on the cutting edge of digital learning.
For sure. Using technology to make education more accessible and engaging.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it. So as we're wrapping up this deep dive into the Bald and Bonkers Network Academy,
Yeah.
I keep thinking about how different their approach is from traditional education.
It's a breath of fresh air, honestly.
It makes me wonder, what if more schools and institutions embrace this kind of open-minded, accessible, and unconventional approach to learning?
That's a great question. Imagine a world where education was less about memorizing facts and passing tests, and more about fostering curiosity and the love of learning.
I think the Bald and Bonkers Network Academy is giving us a glimpse of that future.
A future where learning's about personal growth and self-discovery, and where it's okay to be interested in the weird and wonderful alongside the practical and profitable.
And where learning is fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a chore, it can be an adventure.
And that's what the Bald and Bonkers Network Academy seems to be all about. Making learning exciting, engaging.
A little bit weird.
I know some people might be skeptical about the value of courses on, like cryptozoology or haunting,
Yeah, they might think it's all a bit frivolous.
but I think they're missing the point.
Agreed. It's about expanding our definition of valuable knowledge.
Right. Who's to say that understanding the cultural significance of Bigfoot or exploring the psychology behind ghost stories isn't valuable in its own way? Knowledge is power, no matter where it comes from.
And sometimes, the most engaging and memorable learning experiences come from exploring the things that pique our curiosity, even if they seem a bit out there.
Absolutely. It's about nurturing that sense of wonder and curiosity that we all have as children.
Which, sadly, many of us lose as we grow up.
Yeah, it's like the academy is a playground for the mind, a place where you can explore all sorts of fascinating and unusual topics without judgment.
I like that. A playground for the mind.
So to wrap things up, I want to encourage everyone listening to check out the Bald and Bonkers Network Academy for themselves.
Yeah, dive in.
Explore their website, see what sparks your interest. You might be surprised at what you discover.
About the world. About yourself.
And about the joy of lifelong learning.
Who knows? You might even unlock a hidden passion or talent you never knew you had.
Or you might just have a really good time learning about something weird and wonderful.
Either way, it's a win-win.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the Bald and Bonkers Network Academy.
Until next time.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep it bonkers.
It's like they found a way to make learning FUN again.
Which is how it should be, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
But I'm curious.
So what?
What kind of practical value do these courses have, like in the real world?
That's a good question. Something I've been thinking about, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always obvious how knowing about, say, different hauntings can actually help you in everyday life.
Right.
But I actually think there are some hidden gems here, like real valuable skills tucked away in these courses, skills you can apply to lots of things.
Oh, okay. Like what?
Well, okay, take categorizing cryptozoology, for example.
The cryptid one.
Yeah. On the surface, it's about cryptids, sure. But to do that well, you gotta learn how to think critically, evaluate evidence, use research methodologies, and those are things you can use anywhere.
You're right. It's like being a detective.
Exactly. It's not just memorizing facts, it's about analyzing information, separating fact from fiction, and building a case. And that's valuable, whether you're researching for a business idea or even just evaluating a news story.
Or investigating Bigfoot.
Exactly. Even that hauntings evaluation system course. Sounds like a ghost hunting show, right? But it could be super useful for anyone interested in psychology or even just how people perceive things.
Oh, that's interesting.
It gets you thinking about like the power of suggestion, how beliefs influence us, and how our brains can interpret things in really weird ways.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
And they're big on skepticism in that course, which is always a good thing to practice no matter what you're doing.
True. What about the UFO course?
The 2 UFO encounter rating system?
Yeah, that one.
I think there's a lot to be learned there, too. Learning about different encounter types, analyzing evidence, and the psychological stuff.
It's like a crash course in critical thinking, but with aliens.
Exactly. And that's so important these days, right?
Totally. With all the information overload, you got to be able to figure out what's real.
Absolutely. Now think about this. Beyond the analytical stuff, they have courses that could lead to some pretty unique careers.
Oh, like what?
They have an Introduction to Bounty Hunting course.
Bounty hunting? Seriously?
I know, right? It's not something you see every day.
No kidding. Not exactly your typical college course.
I know, right? Makes you think, what other kind of unconventional paths are out there?
Totally. Although, I'm guessing it's not as simple as they make it seem in movies.
Probably not. But I love that they're even showcasing these kind of less traditional paths.
Yeah, it's about opening up possibilities, showing people they don't have to follow the same old path if it doesn't feel right.
Exactly. You can forge your own way, even if it leads to something completely unexpected. Now, it's not all about the unusual stuff either. They have plenty of courses for people who want to start more traditional businesses or side hustles.
Oh, yeah, like that Launch Your Online Empire course, right?
Yeah. 30 days to a fully functioning online business. That's a bold claim.
Very ambitious.
It is. But it goes back to their whole thing about empowerment, taking control of your life, your finances.
Right, yeah.
And for people who already have businesses, they have courses like Mastering Social Media Marketing to help them grow.
Social media, it's essential these days.
Totally. You got to know how to use it to build your brand, connect with people.
And hopefully make some money.
Exactly. They even have a Podcasting 101 course taught by Dakota Franson and Sarah L. Larson themselves.
That's cool. Leading by example.
Whoa. They're using their platform to teach others how to do what they've done. And it's not limited to just traditional businesses either.
Right.
Imagine someone who's passionate about, paranormal research.
Yeah.
They could take a course like that UFO encounter rating system we were talking about.
Yeah, and then what?
Develop their expertise, and then boom, create an online community, a podcast, a YouTube channel.
Wow, the possibilities are endless.
Exactly. That's what's so exciting about this academy. They're not just teaching skills, they're sparking imagination, encouraging people to think differently,
Yeah,
to embrace what makes them unique, and create their own path.
I love that. And they're doing it in a way that anyone can access, no matter your background.
Right. That's something to celebrate.
It really is. It's about having a growth mindset, being open to learning and adapting, staying curious.
Yeah, always exploring new ideas. Those are qualities that are valuable in any field, in any part of life, really.
Absolutely. So, I think we were talking about affordability before.
Oh, yeah, that was something that really stood out to me when we were going through the catalog. Almost every single course is only $5.
$5? That's amazing.
I know, right? It removes such a huge barrier for so many people.
It really opens up education to a much wider audience.
Right, like they're democratizing knowledge, saying, hey, everyone deserves access to this.
It's powerful.
And they're not skimping on quality either.
Yeah, they have some really great instructors, like actual experts.
They do. Entrepedia,
Yeah.
who's all about business and marketing. And of course, Dakota Franson himself teaches a lot of those paranormal courses.
He's the specialist of the strange, right?
That's him. And they even have instructors from SARA, that paranormal research group, contribute into courses like categorizing cryptozoology and Aunting's evaluation system.
Cool.
They've really put a lot of thought into who they bring on board.
Definitely shows. It adds legitimacy to the courses, too.
Exactly. It's not just random stuff thrown together.
For sure. And what about that partnership with Allison? What's that about?
Oh, right. So Allison's another online learning platform.
Mm-hmm.
And through that partnership, students get access to even more courses on all sorts of topics.
Wow, so it's like a gateway to a whole universe of learning.
That's it. Like they're saying, here's a whole universe of knowledge. Go explore.
That's awesome. Shows they're not trying to be the only source of information.
Exactly. And they're not afraid to embrace new technologies either.
Yeah, they have those courses on AI tools, voice synthesis, that faceless video creation thing.
They're right on the cutting edge of digital learning.
It's pretty incredible when you think about it.
It really is. So as we're wrapping up this deep dive into the Bald and Bonkers Network Academy, I keep coming back to how different their approach is from traditional education.
It is pretty unique.
It makes me wonder, what if more schools and institutions embraced this kind of open-minded, accessible, and unconventional approach to learning?
What if it wasn't all about memorizing and tests,
Yeah.
What if it was more about being curious and really loving to learn?
I think the Bald and Bonkers Network Academy is giving us a glimpse of what that could look like.
A future where learning is more about you growing as a person, discovering new things about yourself.
And where it's okay to be into those weird and wonderful things right alongside the practical stuff.
Yeah, and a future where learning is actually fun.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be a chore.
It can be an adventure.
And that's really what Bald and Bonkers seems to be all about, making learning exciting and engaging.
And just a little bit weird.
I know some people might be like, really? Courses on cryptozoology and hauntings?
They might think it's all just silly stuff.
But I think they're missing the bigger picture.
I agree. We need to expand what we consider valuable knowledge.
Right. Who gets to decide that learning about Bigfoot or ghost stories isn't valuable?
Totally. Knowledge is power, no matter where it comes from.
And sometimes the most fun and memorable learning comes from exploring those things that just spark you curiosity.
Yeah, even if they seem a little out there.
It's all about holding on to that sense of wonder we have as kids.
Which, unfortunately, a lot of us lose as we get older.
I love that idea. It's like the academy is a playground for your mind.
The playground for the mind.
Yeah. Where you can explore all these amazing and unusual topics without anyone judging you.
I like that.
So, as we wrap things up here,
Yeah.
I want to encourage everyone listening to check out the Bald and Bonkers Network Academy for themselves.
Yeah, go for it.
Explore their website, see what grabs your attention. You might be surprised by what you find.
About the world, about yourself.
About how much fun learning can be.
Who knows? Maybe you'll discover a passion you never knew you had.
Or you'll just have a great time learning about something new and different.
It's a win-win either way.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the Bald and Bonkers Network Academy.
It's been a wild ride.
Keep exploring, keep learning,
And keep it bonkers.
see ya next time.